Donald Trump may have accidentally pardoned the January 6th pipe bomber. Let's go to the language of the pardon. There's two parts. Well, there's three parts. In a document titled Granting Pardons and Commutation of Sentences for Certain Offenses Relating to the Events at or Near the Capitol on January 6, 2021. And this is dated January 20th, 2025. The first thing that Donald Trump did when he got into office was pardon all of the January 6ers. By the President of the United States, a proclamation. This proclamation ends a grave national injustice that has been perpetrated upon the American people over the last 4 years and begins a process of national reconciliation. Acting pursuant to the grant of authority in Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution of the United States, I do hereby, Section A, commute the sentences of the following individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, to time served as of January 2025. And then it lists Stewart, Rhodes, Kelly Meggs, Kenneth Harrelson, Thomas Caldwell, Jessica Watkins, Robert Menuda, Edward Vallejo, David Marshall. I think those are all Oath Keepers. Then we get into Joseph Hackett, Ethan Nordine, Proud Boys, Joe Biggs, who used to work for, what's his name? The InfoWars, Alex Jones, Zachary Rell, Jeremy Bertino, and Dominic Pezzola. Dominic Pezzola was the first guy, the first Proud Boy who stole a police shield and smashed in a window, and that was the first breach of the Capitol. So those folks all got their sentences commuted. They still have convictions and felonies on their record. They just don't have to serve any more jail time. Then we get to Section B. I grant a full, complete, and unconditional pardon to all other individuals convicted of offenses related to events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. He didn't say convicted as of this date. He just said convicted, which would seemingly open the door to anyone who is convicted in the future of offenses related to events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. This guy, the pipe bomber, planted pipe bombs at the RNC headquarters and the DNC headquarters, which the judge in the case notes are very close to the Capitol. Then there's some stuff about what the Attorney General is supposed to do. I further direct the Attorney General to pursue dismissal with prejudice to the government of all pending indictments against individuals for their conduct related to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. Again, he did not say, I further direct the Attorney General to pursue dismissal with prejudice to the government of all pending indictments as of this date. That language covers future indictments too, like the indictment of the January 6th pipe bomber. An article from an excellent reporter and columnist for Politico named Ankush Kadori. There may be some serious problems on the horizon. Trump may have pardoned Brian Cole Jr., the suspect, last year as part of the sweeping clemency he gave to January 6 offenders on his first day back in office. The DOJ attorneys, and the White House are concerned about the sloppiness of the language of Donald Trump's January 6 pardon because it covers this guy. If he's convicted, commute the sentences of the following. If he's convicted, I grant a full and complete and unconditional pardon to all other individuals convicted of offenses related to the events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. Bingo. If he gets convicted, he gets a full pardon. I further direct the Attorney General to pursue dismissal with prejudice to the government of all pending indictments against individuals for their conduct related to the events at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. That covers him right now because he's under indictment. Donald Trump has instructed the Attorney General to dismiss the indictment of Brian Cole Jr. with prejudice, meaning the government can never bring that indictment again. This is fucking amazing. Let's talk about some of the problems. For starters, it does not matter whether Trump specifically intended to pardon Brian Cole Jr. or the person who planted the bombs. Under the law, it is the text of the pardon that matters. It's like contract law. The four corners of the document, man. What is the language in the document? The language in the document covers Brian Cole twice, at the indictment stage and at the conviction stage. The Justice Department has claimed that it has the power to decide who is eligible for certain pardons. The courts have been skeptical of that. That's being polite about it. Trump's pardon also appears to have no restrictions on when the charges against the relevant defendants have been brought. The Justice Department has already applied Trump's pardon to people whose cases were merely pending, people who had not yet been convicted at the time of the pardon's issuance. Trump could have specified the pardon applied only to people who had been convicted or charged as of the date of the pardon, but there is no such language in Trump's proclamation. Whoops. Moreover, the substantive scope of Trump's pardon language is very broad, as the Justice Department's own lawyers have maintained in other cases. If Cole is convicted, it is very possible that the presiding judge could ultimately rule, begrudgingly, that his crimes were, in the language of the Trump pardon, offenses related to events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021. Last week, the Justice Department went out of its way during a hearing to avoid linking this to that. There was one other quote in here that I wanted to find. This guy, Brian Cole, said specifically to investigators, I planted those bombs because I was upset about the coverage that I was seeing on Fox News about the election being stolen from Donald Trump. Who brought this indictment against Brian Cole Jr.? Who brought this indictment against him? Judge Jeanine Pirro, who, before, during, and after the 2020 election, had a show on Fox News. Brian Cole said that he had specifically watched Judge Jeanine Pirro's show and her pushing the conspiracy theories that the 2020 election had been stolen from Donald Trump. And now she is the U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., who's bringing this indictment against him when it's her show that influenced him to do and plant these bombs in the fucking first place. That's how much of a farce this country is right now. That is how farcical this whole thing is. It's just absolutely stunning. The judge's opinion, after some motions, ordering Cole's continued detention, also noted that Cole had been, quote, charged with placing the two pipe bombs in the immediate vicinity of the U.S. Capitol the night before lawmakers were set to gather to certify the results of the 2020 election. That fits perfectly in the language of Donald Trump's pardon. Donald Trump already pardoned this guy, and Donald Trump already has ordered the Department of Justice to dismiss charges against Brian Cole Jr. with prejudice after his U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., when she was still on Fox News, was actively part of the disinformation and lying campaign that pushed this guy to plant those pipe bombs in the first place. That is... I don't even know what the hell to say anymore, man.